your host for this year's Macedonian Tribute Ball. Please put your hands together for Elizabeth Naumovsky, Vice President of Marketing for Caldwell Securities and the host of the TV show Finances Personal for Women in Capital Markets.
Hello, Detroit! How much fun is it to be here tonight? And oh my God, you guys all look so fantastic. You can get dressed up so beautifully. I'm so proud to be here today, and thank you so much for the warm welcome. Dobro dojdlov to everyone. Welcome to the 2018 Macedonian Tribute Ball in Detroit. Now, it's always such a pleasure to MC UMD events. We are one big Macedonian family, and many of you have come from afar, from all over the place. So here tonight we've got people from Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., Dallas, Boston, Chicago, Cleveland, my hometown Toronto, and of course Macedonia. And I'm really happy to introduce my stepdaughter Koren to the Macedonian community, and she's already really learning a lot of Macedonian words. So is my new fiancé Wouter. They know the most important words, which we all know. Uti pipirki, Ivad, right? And my mom Mare couldn't wait to come. She pretty much comes to all the North American venues. So thank you guys for coming and supporting. Now tonight, we're here to celebrate the accomplishments of 4 exceptional individuals who've made an impact for Macedonia, and also support the United Macedonian Diaspora, our voice in Washington, D.C. Now, proceeds from the evening's ball will go towards UMD's Utah Scholarship, Generation M Young Leaders Program, Birthright Macedonia, and UMD's internship program in Washington, D.C. So you will hear more about these programs during tonight's event. Now, please stand for the singing of the American and Macedonian national anthems, performed by Nevin and Meshkolska, who came in from Boston.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rocked aloud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Danes nad Makedonia se rađa, novo sunce na sloboda ta. Makedonci te se bora za svoj te pravdini. Makedonci se bora za svojite pravdini. Od novo se ga zname to sebe, na Kruševska ta republika. Goce delce pituguli, damme grue sandanski. Goce delce pituguli, damme grue sandanski. Gorite makedonski šumopea, novi pesni, novi vesnici. Makedonija slobodna, slobodno žive. Makedonija slobodna, slobodno žive.
Deana, that was awesome. And I have to say, every time I hear the U.S. national anthem or the Macedonian national anthem, I think of Deana and her sisters singing so beautifully in Chicago, and that's always etched in my brain. So thank you once again, that was beautiful. Also, Deana was the 2011 UMD VTOP Scholarship recipient, so once again, warm applause for Deana, that was absolutely amazing. Social media has pretty much taken over all of our lives, and I know you guys can't deny it. We'd like to ask you to join the conversation on social media and share this momentous occasion with everyone in your network. So the event hashtag tonight is hashtag MacBall. So once again, that's hashtag MAKBALL. And the United Macedonian Diaspora is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So don't forget to tag UMD when you're sharing your photos and videos using the information up on the screen. Now please welcome the Honorary Ball Chairman, someone who I'm not related to, but we share the same last name, the Ambassador of Macedonia to Washington, D.C., Vasko Novomovski.
Thank you, Liz. It's a great honor to be here tonight, Mr. President, Mrs. Ivanova, Congressman, Mr. President of the UMD, and all the other guests. Thank you for the honor for being the Honorary Ball Chairman tonight. I want to congratulate the United Macedonian Diaspora for the work that it has done in the last years, like the loudest voice for the protection of the Macedonian interests all over the world. I had the pleasure to work with Mr. Meto Kolsby, the UMD President, and other members of the board of the UMD in Washington, D.C., and all around the U.S. I'm happy that we have shared the last 4 years together, and I'm certain that you will continue down the same path in the years to come. The UMD has been a great ally and partner in protecting Macedonia's interests here in the U.S., and my message to all the UMD members and the young generation especially is to continue to fight for Macedonia wherever you are, to continue to fight for our interests and to continue to fight to preserve our identity, our culture, and to preserve our past and work for the common future. I would also like to use this opportunity to congratulate the award winners tonight, Congressman, Mrs. Deana, and of course our President, Dr. Ivanov, who has already deserved his place in our modern history, a strong and courageous leader that has been an inspiration for all of us, and a person that I had the pleasure to work with in the past 4 years, and I'm certain that he will continue to fight for our interests and for our country in the future. No matter what we do, as you all know, we have been fighting for Macedonia for centuries, we have been dying for Macedonia for centuries, and no matter what, we will continue to do so in the future. Thank you. Long live Macedonia. Živio Macedonia.
Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the premier Macedonian folk dance group in North America, which I used to perform with many years ago. I'd like to introduce from Toronto, Makedonka. you listen to the music and you see that the passion that these guys dance with, it just makes you want to jump up onto the dance floor and join them. So thank you, Michaela, that was awesome. And Alec, where are you? Alec Pipichko, are you around somewhere? Remember I told you that I want to hire them for my wedding, July 13th? Don't forget. Yeah, no pressure, Alex. But I also wanted to personally thank Alex for being so involved in the Macedonian community through dance for well over 50 years. This man has dedicated so much of his personal time, his heart, his passion, and everything else. So thank you so much, Alex. You did an awesome job. Now, to present our first award, please welcome ball co-chairs George Peters and Deana Janceski.
And thank you all again for coming. I do have to correct, I know I am on the program as a ball co-chair, but honestly, this is what you see out here is all Deana and her work, and I want to give her my own special applause. It's just amazing. I wrote some words and I can't read them now. For me, this is an amazing occasion. I am so gratified to see so many family and friends and colleagues. I know half the room personally, and most of you know me all my life, and I'm honored and gratified that you're here. We're here for a couple of reasons, though. I know it's the part of this has to do with honoring special people, and part of this has to do with Macedonia itself. I wanted to share with you first one of our honorees this evening is Deana. Again, one of those people I've known all my life. Amazing person, just even by myself, but I had to share my own story, my own anecdote about how special the Deana and the Deana family have been to us and our family. What many of you know is that my parents and my aunt and uncle opened a donut shop close to 50 years ago, 40 years ago maybe, 40 years ago, and it was like the mid-70s, and high unemployment, and high inflation, and we all mortgaged our homes to start a business, and so nerved up about it. And so, as soon as after we closed on the business, Evelyn and her father came and just wanted to see how we're doing, and could tell they were nervous about, hey, you mortgage your house, this is it, this is live or die, right? And so after being there for a few minutes, Evelyn's father said to us, don't worry, you have a good product, you have a good business, and the people will eat what you have. And if anything happens, if you need anything, or financially or otherwise, we're here for you. To us, Dana Vedishka. And to know that people like that are out there in our own community who are standing and has our back meant a lot more to us than they ever realized at the time. I reminded Evelyn of that story that we were just talking about with my family just weeks ago. And she remembered it, but it's like, you don't realize what it really means to people when you say things like that. And so for me, I want to have a toast and my own special applause to Mrs. Deana and her family. As I said, this for me is personal as well. So for me, this is also something about what it means to be who I am. Growing up, my aunt used to call me Koren. I get emotional about it. It's just like, so Koren in Macedonian is translated into root. And in me, she saw how important it was for me to understand my family's roots, to live our family's roots, and to honor them. And you know, compared to roots, everybody knows roots are like, you know, what keeps a tree in place, right? You know, without roots, the tree will blow away and then knock down, and without taking care of your roots and your heritage, things will erode, and things will erode to a level where they're not sustainable. And I compare that to today, because today, I think that you know, I have to honor the president because he is standing for our roots. Our roots are Macedonian. Here's a man who says, you know, I'm sorry. He is about integrity. He is about being true to yourself and being true to the roots of who you are. And you know, at the end of the day, we talk and we're not always our best friends. Macedonians in general are sometimes our worst enemies. But we're here today and to honor a man who reminds us that, yeah, maybe our families came from Serbia or what are geographically called Serbia or Macedonia or Greece or Albania or elsewhere. But at the end of the day, we're all one people. We have one name. You know, Panashe eno ime, and this is not That's why it's personal for me. Now I gotta hand off to the man because there are other folks here we want to honor, and we know our time is short.
We are stronger when we are united. When I took this role of UMD Michigan chair, I did not know what I was getting into. Surely soon after, I realized what a wonderful team we Macedonians are. Despite differences we may have, we always come through. At the end, planning this event, planning this Macedonian Tribute Ball with George and our team has been a real honor, but a great challenge. I want to use this opportunity to recognize our host committee: Alex Atanasovsky, Mende Bajinovsky, Dalibor Klimovsky, Maria Georgievsky, Stephanie Kristovsky, Sonia Sekulovsky, Biljana Marinkovic, Alex Vasilovsky, Vera Naidovsky, and Evan Perkulos. Without them and many of our volunteers tonight, this event would have been possible. So please give them another round of applause. We also want to thank our sponsors and our generous donors this evening. Now I would like to draw your attention to one remarkable person we are honoring tonight, and that is Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. She is a fighter from Michigan and a passionate fighter for the underdog. Congresswoman Dingell, upon being asked to serve as the co-chair of the Congressional Caucus on Macedonia and Macedonian-Americans, did not hesitate, and immediately her office responded and said yes. We could not be more grateful to have her with us this evening, especially during a difficult time for her husband, Mr. Dingell. We hope his health improves quickly. Please welcome Congresswoman Dingell to the stage to receive the UMD Macedonia Friendship Award for her staunch support of our homeland, our community, and standing by for what is right. That our name is Macedonia and we will not change it.
George and Deana are taller than I am. I want to thank both of you for this wonderful, very special event and all the work that you've done. Mr. President, welcome to Michigan. It's wonderful that you're here. Mr. Ambassador, it's good to see you outside of Washington. This is the real world. It is. And it's an honor tonight to be with my good friend Paul Mitchell, who we do many things together, and he's a good man. We disagree on a few issues, but he's a good man. And he is, he's my friend. And to also be here with Denise Illich, who's been my friend for many decades. And you're very lucky to have the Illich family as a proud Macedonian family. And I do apologize that I'm not staying all night. John Dingle is not an easy patient, as most of you know. And I'm not comfortable being gone from the hospital very long. I don't know what he might tweet, and or what doctor he might yell at, but he is doing okay. But let me say this. Those prayers matter, though. I appreciate them, Father. I'm very proud to co-chair this caucus and all the work that UMD does. We need to continue to build bridges between our two countries. It's important for the economic and security of both of our nations. We've got to continue to work together to build those bridges. We need to be building bridges in many places. And the good work that you're doing tonight helps so many people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a great honor.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Dingle and Deana and George. And right now, please welcome to the stage the UMD Director of U.S. Operations, Drago Papuchowski.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Tonight, before I get started and honor our next, or present our next honoree, I want to say a quick thank you to my cousin Michael Shamoski for inviting me into his house. As the father of twins that are 16 months old, it's been the best sleep I've had in almost 2 years. But before you guys feel bad for me, our honoree is the father of 6 kids, so don't feel too bad for me. And also I want to thank my father, Boris Papuchowski, for putting up for me, and then also helping me to college. So thank you, Dad. It's my privilege to present our next award to Congressman Paul Mitchell. He has been serving the Michigan 10th District since last year. It's also the district that has the most Macedonians living in there. So I want you to remember that when elections are coming up. We need to help our friends. And Congressman Mitchell, he serves on the Armed Services Committee, Oversight of Government Reform, and also on transportation. Outside of work, his wife Sherry was here in attendance. Like I said, he has 6 kids. They live on a farm. And as a proud, I'm sure, MSU grad, I'll introduce you with Go Green. Go White!
Thank you. It's a unique honor to have a chance to sit and talk with the President, the First Lady, ambassadors also, and I'll share with Debbie. It's good to see you here rather than Washington. It's a lot of fun here. And Mayo, it's good to be again joining you. As some of you may know, I was asked to join the rally this spring for Macedonia to join NATO and the EU. I thought it made absolute sense to me. Macedonia and any nation's right to self-determination. They get to choose their name. We made an interesting mistake, I think. We posted it to Facebook, and I shared with some people that we had 60,000 comments on that Facebook post, the most of anything. Anything else in the United States doesn't matter except my support for Macedonia apparently did. Some of those comments we had to translate. They were from Greeks. They weren't very positive. Some we had to delete when we figured out what they said. But let me share with all of you that you have the absolute support from both my colleague Debbie Dingle, myself, and the Macedonian caucus, that Macedonia gets to decide how it joins NATO and EU. Let me also urge you to look very carefully at the demands and the issues you face right now with Russia and your national security and your economy. Because I think it's critically important, why I support you joining you, is that it's critically important to the future of Macedonia. In my opinion, the sooner the better because of the threats you face. The threats we all face. Your security is our security. And I support you joining. We'll do anything I can to help. As I share with the President, if it's anything you can do in Washington, simply call or send a note and we'll work on it because your well-being is important to the United States and important to the world. So thank you. It's an honor to be recognized in front of Macedonia. I really appreciate it. I'll take it to Washington.
Thank you so much, Michael, and thank you, Congressman Mitchell, for your great remarks and for your friendship with Macedonia. Now, as you know, this evening's proceeds will benefit Macedonian youth of all ages, so if you have not placed your bids for the silent auction, please do so before 10:30. That's when it closes, at 10:30 tonight. And we have exciting items, including a trip to the Barbados, Ireland, Macedonia. And for all of you who know the phrase, winter is coming, does everyone know that one? There's a great Game of Thrones experience as well. And of course, Red Wings and Tigers items, the pride of Detroit. Now to present the next award, I'd like to call up Alex Deana and Denise Illich to the stage, please. Now everyone please turn your attention to the screen for a special video that will be played.
Good evening. Thank you for this privileged opportunity to honor Evelyn Deana. Thank you. I want to acknowledge her family, her children, Alex Deana, Deana Lights, Michael Deana and Sue, and Andrea and Michael Gatilla, and her grandchildren, Xander, Evan, Sibley and Parker Deana, Nicholas Lights, and Alessandro and Giorgio Gatilla. Thank you to the United Macedonian Diaspora. And congratulations to the other honorees, Dr. George Ivanov, Congressman Paul Mitchell, and my good friend, Congresswoman Debbie Dingle. Evelyn was born in the United States to parents Jim and Mary Satirov. Jim was from Vernick and Mary was from Booth. And what a Macedonian duo they were. She was so blessed to have exemplary role models of her parents. And I feel so blessed to have had the privilege to grow up with them. Jim and Mary were kind, fun, generous, loving, and committed to their faith and to Macedonia. They were the co-founders of our St. Clement's Church. Evelyn has done a beautiful job of honoring their legacy and carrying forward their values, principles, and traditions. Those values are an unwavering devotion to family, church, and to her Macedonian heritage. Evelyn's love for her family is without reproach. Suffice to say, I have observed over a 50-year period the love that she has given to her family. Evelyn and George and my parents, Mike and Mary Illich, were best friends. So we all grew up and experienced life together. On a personal note, she's been a wonderful role model to me. Her actions have spoke volumes. She always led by example. By watching her, I learned the importance of kindness, a sense of fun. She has a great sense of humor, a belief in God, the importance of church, and an emphasis on unity and collaboration. She's inclusive. Teta Evi sees the good in all people. She's also an astute businesswoman, something that she doesn't get enough credit for, as evidenced by her brown spun bakery. As kids, she was known as the Zelnick provider, but as life went on, she became our Teta, and so much more. Teta Evi has been involved in our church, St. Clemens, for as long as I can remember. She has supported the church in so many different activities, including singing in the choir, the ladies' club, fundraising, cookie walks, rummage sales, dances, dinners, contributing financially to the church and supporting the leadership of the church. She currently is a member of the Board of Trustees, and she led the first fundraising campaign for the orphanages in Bitola and Skopje, raising $58,000. From St. Clemens describes her as the best at working towards bringing the Macedonian community together. She always sees the bright side, he says, and is constantly working on strengthening relationships to unite Macedonians. Father Anthony goes on to say her goodness is her best feature. Now, if that's not enough, Evelyn and George were the original supporters of the St. Sabas Monastery. In the beginning, Evelyn and George helped to pay electric bills, and they sent their bakery trucks filled with pounds and pounds of flour, sugar, and sesame seeds. The monastery started a small bakery from this generosity, and the proceeds helped to keep the doors open. They were the main factor that the monastery survived in the early years. Evelyn is sometimes referred to as the Macedonian angel. She was honored with a mosaic window in the monastery, which is stained glass and created in 1830 in England. This beautiful window is in honor of her great love of the Orthodox Church. As Father John from St. Sabas so eloquently said, Evelyn Dinu is the best example of a human being, most genuine. She is the best of what it is to be a Macedonian, an American, and a Christian. Tata, congratulations on this honor. It is so well deserved. We all love you. Hvala, Gospodi vi blavi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, First Lady, UMD members, and distinguished guests. On behalf of our mom, I would like to express our gratitude and appreciation for being recipient of the Macedonian Heritage Award. This award is extremely fitting because even as a child, I can remember one of the key characteristics of my mom always being proud of her heritage. I remember her teaching us the language, making the food, sharing the customs. Honestly, I must admit, many times I did not share her enthusiasm. I can remember coming home from school all bummed out because some kid said, "I never heard of Macedonia." Others would mistakenly refer to it as Mesopotamia or Madagascar. Immediately, my mom would correctly err and clearly explain some relevant attribute or historic reference. She was always quick to defend her heritage. She was proud. She also told us to remember one thing about being Macedonian. Special. She said it was special and that you should always be proud. The pride spread throughout the neighborhood, and she would explain and teach the neighborhood kids. You can imagine her gratification and our utter disbelief when eventually red-headed Patrick O'Callahan stopped by the house one day and said, "Hey, show price, we got any Zelnick today?" My mom has always been incredibly supportive of St. Clements. As Denise mentioned, there were 3 co-founders who were instrumental in planning and guaranteeing the financing which allowed St. Clements to be built. Jim Satiroff, my mom's father, was one of those people. The other 2 were Nicholas George and Michael Illich. Both families are represented here this evening. And as a result, my mom has a deep connection to St. Clements and over the years has participated in many commissions and fundraisers, all to a positive result. Equally important are the friendships she has established. She has the ability to draw people in with her kind and loving personality. She sees the good in people and is absolutely dependable no matter the situation. As a result, she has an extensive network of friends and has developed many great relationships and wonderful memories. For all she has done for Macedonia, the great irony is it wasn't until 1998 when she actually visited the country. By coincidence, I was in Europe for work and joined her for the first 4 days of the trip. It was extremely gratifying to observe her interacting with many friends and relatives, visiting homes and the various villages. I have this image of her on a warm, sunny day, smiling and laughing while we had lunch on the shore of Lake Ohrid. The work she did with the orphanages has been a source of great pride for our family. Finally, I would like to take one moment to reflect. For whatever reason, too many people wait until the person is gone before saying something nice about them. I've always found this particularly sad because I feel you should tell those you value exactly how you feel when they are alive and can appreciate your comments. So on behalf of all your children and all your grandchildren, we want you to know that you have been an amazing mentor. You are the rock-solid foundation of our family. We all appreciate everything you've done and said, well, maybe except for some of the unsolicited opinions. Just kidding. You've been a wonderful role model and have always been there for us. You made each and every one of our lives better. We thank you and we love you. Along this theme, I would like to thank Denise for her kind words. My mom was very touched. Denise and I have always shared a special bond, being the oldest of each of our families, where there's always a higher expectation. And for your amazing journey, I have always been appreciative how grounded you've remained. I've always been impressed with your intelligence. I used to teach her. I got the height, but she got the brains. You have great drive and focus, and I can honestly say you are one of the sweetest and kindest people I've ever met. I love you. In closing, please know that all of you in this room have made my mom incredibly happy. She was completely blown away by the response, excited so many of her friends are here tonight, and amazed at the great distances friends and families have traveled from Toronto and elsewhere. She is grateful and humbled. Thank you so much.
Evelyn Deana was born in Detroit, Michigan, the second child of James and Mary Satiroff, who immigrated to the United States in the early 1920s. Her mother came from Boof and her father from the village of Vernik. Evelyn has been involved with the Macedonian community her entire life. During World War II, she was part of a young group that sent cookies, letters, and Bibles to Macedonian soldiers. She was a member of a Macedonian dance group, and at the age of 12, she began to sing in the church choir, and continues to do so till today. Evelyn married George Deana and continued to be involved in her church and Macedonian community, instilling her love of her Macedonian heritage in her children Alexander, Deana, Michael, and Andrea, and 6 grandchildren, Xander, Sibylle, Evan, Parker, Alessandro, and Giorgio. In 1998, while on a visit to Macedonia, Evelyn went to visit an orphanage in Bitola. On her return to the US, she was met at the airport with devastating news. Her 5-year-old grandson Nicholas had passed away. Determined to do something to honor his memory, Evelyn held a fundraiser with the Ladies' Club of St. Clement Church for the orphanage in Bitola. They raised more than $50,000. Through their efforts, they were able to buy the orphanage a commercial washing machine, a commercial dryer, fix their garbage, buy new bedding for the cribs, and put a fence around the exterior windows. They have also sent books and toys. The Ladies' Club continues to support the Bitola Orphanage and the Skopje Orphanage. In addition to being a lifelong member of St. Clement's, Evelyn helped start the United Macedonian Americans of Detroit to help unite the community and provide scholarship money to Macedonian and Macedonian-American college students.
My Baba Evelyn, a true Macedonian and Macedonian supporter through and through. Little things like making sure we fly the Macedonian flag at our family's summer home up north.
Or hiring a wood carver to carve a dead tree into this beautiful owl representing the village of Boof, where her mother and many of our Macedonians' friends' roots are from.
It's hard to speak of my mother and her contributions to the Macedonian community without mentioning our family's business now in its 90th year in 5 generations. Brown's Bun Bakery was founded in 1929 by Evelyn's grandfather, Charles Sotier Brown. Few know that Mom was actually born in an upstairs apartment literally above the bakery. She worked there her entire life and tells some wonderful stories of the neighborhood parks and the streetcars that used to run down Verner Highway out front. As she got older and assumed more responsibilities, she always made sure she followed in the same tradition as her grandfather and father before her, which was, together with my father George, help out and employ the local Macedonians whenever possible. A typical scenario was for an individual who just recently arrived in America to approach her on a Sunday at church and ask if there were any opportunities for employment at the bakery. In most cases, that person or persons would be seen in the bakery bright and early Monday morning wearing an apron and catching pans. Those Macedonians that worked for us were not only known for their work ethic and dependability, but most important, their loyalty to those that gave them the shot at this American dream. We've had several Macedonians over the years who worked more than 50 years, unheard of by today's standards. You would be hard-pressed to find a Macedonian in the southeastern Michigan community that didn't, at one time or another, have a friend or relative that used to work at the bakery. I still get that today when I go to certain locations. So Baba, thank you for raising us and teaching us about how important our heritage is, and congratulations on receiving this distinguished recognition. Well deserved.
We love you, Baba. Congratulations.
Love you, Baba.
We love you, Baba.
All I can say is, God bless everybody here. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm happy to be here with my family, with my friends. God bless America. God bless Macedonia. God bless Canada. And God bless everybody.
Skopje will perform a song that all of us know about a beautiful Macedonian girl called Macedonsko devojče.
Thank you.
expert in the field of civil society. He is also known for his commitment to bring Macedonia into the EU and NATO and to promoting peace within Europe. During his presidency, he never forgot to meet and discuss with students. He founded the President's School for Young Leaders, which has provided new knowledge, experience, and skills to more than 370 young people up to date. With his commitment thereof, he has attracted over 180 renowned university professors, statesmen, and experts as speakers at the school and its alumni association, including then UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. He founded the Best Young Scientists Award, and in addition, under his auspices, 20 young people each year receive scholarships. He initiated the foundation of the Alliance of Civilizations in Macedonia. Global and regional issues have been high on his international agenda, including respect to diversity, climate change, the migrant and refugee crisis. At the peak of the European migrant crisis, President Ivanov played an important role in managing and closing the Balkan migrant route. Professor Dr. Georgi Ivanov has lectured at prestigious universities around the world, including Yale University, Harvard University, Georgetown University, Arizona State University, McMaster University, Moscow State University, Lomonosov, Charles University in Prague, Benedicto II University in Naples, the Council for Higher Education in Turkey, and many more. President Ivanov has given talks at important think tanks such as Chatham House, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Egmont Royal Institute for International Relations, the Atlantic Council, the Sedona Forum, the Italian Institute for International Affairs in Rome, the Trilateral Commission, the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, and many more. At the presidential elections held in 2014, President Ivanov was re-elected for a new 5-year term of office. President Ivanov is married to Maya Ivanova, and they have one child.
Hello everyone, hope you enjoyed your lovely dinner. And right now, the presenter of our next and final award this evening is my friend UMD Chairman Stoyan Nikolov, true champion for UMD around the world. We have all seen him at every UMD gala, whether it's in Chicago, Washington, Skopje, Toronto, or New York. He's constantly working hard for the cause. Stoyan.
Thank you, Luis, for the kind words. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone feeling tonight? This is a wonderful event. Thank you for being here. Before I do what I came up here to do and present an award to an incredible leader and statesman, I'm speaking, of course, of the President of the Republic of Macedonia, Dr. Georgi Ivanov. Can I get applause? I want to share with you some news from our homeland Macedonia about a recent meeting and an award ceremony of a different kind that took place there between the Prince of the Royal Family of Montenegro and Macedonia, His Highness Stefan Sermetić, and the Prime Minister of Macedonia, His Excellency Zoran Zaev. True story. I kid you not. It was confirmed by the Office of the Prime Minister, of course, after the Royal Highness Sermetić bragged on social media that he and his family, and I quote, were pleased and honored to be officially welcomed at the Government Palace in Skopje, Republic of Macedonia, by the Prime Minister, His Excellency Mr. Zoran Zaev. Now, all those of you that have never heard of the Imperial Royal Family of Montenegro and Macedonia, or His Royal Highness the Prince, please don't feel so bad. The Imperial Royal Family of Montenegro and Macedonia does not exist and never did. The Prince, though, does exist. And as evident by his statements after the visit with the Prime Minister, he seems to be doing very well and in great spirit. You see, it turns out, before his meeting with the Prime Minister of Macedonia, for the last decade or so, the fake prince has had similar meetings and award ceremonies with many other celebrities and wannabe politicians, all of whom were seeking fame, recognition, and self-glorification. I'm not exactly sure what other politicians the fake prince has met with, other than the Prime Minister of Macedonia, Zoran Zaev. But I do know that one of the unfortunate victims of the fake prince is the world-known and famous actress Pamela Anderson, which he met back in 2014 when he conferred the former Baywatch star with the title of Countess in a ceremony which involved her kneeling before him and referring to him as Your Highness. Again, I kid you not, you can check the facts after the event tonight. In fact, I'm sure some of you are already Googling the fake prince, Pamela Anderson, and Zoran Zaev Tripko from Murdina. If you check the facts, and I can't believe nobody in the Prime Minister's office did not bother to check the facts, you can see that Ms. Anderson even marked the occasion on her own website, but later added that the prince, even though he was a big animal fan, admittedly said that she found the whole ceremony very bizarre. Now, one may wonder if the fake prince awarded Prime Minister Zaev with the same prestigious knighthood title because he is also an animal lover, or maybe because he did to thank him for doing such a great job at selling out the name of his own country. The name and country for which generations of Macedonians fought and died for. I also wonder whether Zaev, like Pamela Anderson, found the whole ceremony bizarre. I don't know about that. I do know, though, that pretty much everything that Prime Minister Zaev and his government have done since coming to power last spring is very bizarre and very wrong on many different levels. Since coming to power last spring, he has tried by force to change Macedonia, so much so that us Macedonians abroad, and most of the people in the Republic, cannot even recognize the country anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, Macedonia does need reforms. But instead of the reforms that Mr. Zaev has been working so hard to do, he should have probably done a better job at working harder on a few other things, like fixing the hospitals, like fixing the education system, trying to improve the economy of Macedonia. Instead of renaming the country, making it bilingual, trying to make it bilingual, and revising, if not wiping out, its history. Now, he would have served his people much better if he used his power, his almost unilateral, dictator-like power, to do these things and to help his people, rather than do what he was not elected to do. This is what generations of Macedonians fought and sacrificed for. A Macedonia that's prosperous, democratic, and not to have the humility and to live in a country where their children and grandchildren are born and live in something else other than the Republic of Macedonia. There is no North Macedonia. There is only one Macedonia, and that is the Republic of Macedonia. Enough about Zaev and his failures and policies detrimental to the sovereignty of the Macedonian state. Future generations of Macedonians will judge him for his deeds. And if I know anything about Macedonians, they have never been very kind and forgiving to those that have tried to force change, to change them by force and change who they are, especially when that someone was one of their own. So I hope Mr. Zaev keeps good friends with the likes of the fake prince around, because when the dust settles and the sun comes out shining again, there may come a day when all these other friends will no longer be there, and he may need the company of his friend, the fake prince. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the real reason why I'm up here tonight is to honor a man that is a model of what a Macedonian politician and a patriot should be like. A complete opposite of Zaev. A true statesman that has led the country corruption-free for almost a decade. An academic, a deep thinker, a constitutionalist whose deep love and devotion for its history and its people, together with his incorruptible personality, is the true mold of which all future Macedonian politicians should be made of, because we know that many of the current ones are not. I'm speaking, of course, of the President of our homeland Macedonia, Dr. Georgi Ivanov. I met President Ivanov for the first time about 9 years ago, and my first impression of him was that the citizens of Macedonia could not have chosen a better person for president of the country. I have had the privilege to meet with him several more times since then, and with every meeting I became more and more reassured that he is the right person for the job, the best president that Macedonia could have had for the last decade. His accomplishments as the President of the Republic of Macedonia are numerous to count, and it will take me a lot of time to do that. But I'll mention just a few things. His legacy as a staunch defender of the Macedonian Constitution, Macedonia's name and Macedonian values, culture and traditions, as well as the Ivanov School of Leaders, as part of which he has hosted hundreds of future leaders from Macedonia and abroad, giving them the necessary skills to lead by example and impact positive change in the world, are some of the most important reasons that come to mind, and for which the UMD Board of Directors decided to present Georgi Ivanov with the UMD Global Statesman Award. Thank you, President Ivanov, for everything that you have done for our beloved Macedonia, and thank you for everything that you will continue.
Dobar večer, dragi moji Makedonki i Makedonci. Dobar večer, počituvani členovi na kongresu, počitovana vladika Metodi, počitovani ambasadore na Makedonija u Sjedinjene Amerikanske državi, počitovani predsjedatelj na board na Обединената македонска диаспора, почитувани членови на Обединената македонска диаспора. Дами и господа, драги приятели, браќа и сестри. Благодарам за ова навистина престижно признание и благодарам на Обединетата македонска диаспора за овој величествен и достоинствен прием. Горд сум што ве гледам вака сплотени во љубовта кон Македонија. Успешно ги преживеавме сите предизвици со кои се соочи нашата татковина во минатото. Верувам дека сплотени и ќе го надминеме и сегашниот предизвик. Како председател од секој сум се залагал за исполнување на стратешките определби на Република Македонија, членството во НАТО и во Европската Унија. Тоа е наш интерес и наша обединувачка стратешка цел од која не отстапуваме. Но на тој наш пат ни беше поставена пречка. Ни се оспори правото да се именуваме според нашето собствено име. Со тоа ни се наметна ирационален спор што трае речиси 3 децении. Од секогаш сум се залагал за решение кое нема да задира во идентитетот на македонскиот народ и нема да биде на штета на македонските национални интереси. Решение кое нема да опфаќа промена на Уставот на Република Македонија заради промена на уставното име. Но истовремено, тоа решение треба да биде изградено со широк национален консензус, без да ги руши досегашните државни позиции. Таквото решение треба да биде потврдено од страна на граѓаните на референдум. Денес, на граѓаните на Република Македонија, на референдум им се нуди едно решение кое е спротивно на досега изградените државни позиции. Тоа не е резултат на национален консензус и е донесено без мое знаење и без моја согласност. Дами и господи, сите се прашуваат што ќе се случи ако не се прифати конечната спогодба од Преспа. Но многу поважно е прашањето кои се последиците ако се прифати спогодбата. Сметам дека ова спогодба е штетна и поразителна за Република Македонија. Прашањето на прифаќањето на оваа спогодба ќе има несогледливи последици по македонската држава и македонскиот народ. Со оваа грчка спогодба не се јакне македонскиот идентитет, туку правно се укинува македонскиот народ. Не се потврдува, туку се менува македонскиот државен и институционален идентитет. Не се унапредува, туку се деградираат нашите стекнати права. Членот 3 од спогодбата вели дека секој од страните се обврзува да го почитува суверенитетот, територијалниот интегритет и политичката независност на другата страна. А токму со содржината на спогодбата се негира сувереноста и политичката независност на Република Македонија, бидејќи се дозволува мешање во нејзините внатрешни работи. Според спогодбата, последниот збор ќе го имаат грчките, а не македонските парламентарици. Со ова спогодба Република Македонија се доведува во положба на подчинетост и зависност спрема Република Грција. Поради членството на Грција во Европската Унија и НАТО, постои дисбаланс на моќта и условеност на Македонија од страна на Грција. Со оваа асиметрична спогодба, вистината на доминантната страна станува доминантна вистина. Веќе нема да има македонски народен театар, македонска радиотелевизија, македонска академија на науките и уметностите, па дури ни македонска православна црква. Ваков договор не ги обединува македонските граѓани, туку дополнително ги поларизира и го поларизира македонското општество. Со овој договор се поништува општествениот договор што го постигнавме кога прогласивме независна и суверена држава. Речиси 3 децении Грција тврди дека Република Македонија е вештачка творба. Но вистината е дека токму со оваа спогодба се создава вештачка творба, која не е израз на волјата на македонскиот народ и македонските граѓани. Со оваа спогодба се создава нов субјект, нова држава која ќе биде анационална. Наедноставно кажано, последиците од оваа спогодба може да се сумираат во една реченица. Она што грчката држава им го направи на македонците во Грција, сега со оваа спогодба сака да им го направи на македонците во Република Македонија. Да ги обезличи, да ги обезимени, да ги замоти. Не сакам да бидам погрешно разбран, Јас се залагам за партнерство и пријателство меѓу Република Македонија и Грција, меѓу македонското и грчкото општество. Но, за да биде трајно, тоа пријателство треба да се темели на здрави основи. Ако единствениот начин да се задоволат ирационалните барања на грчката страна и со наметнати мерки кон македонската страна, она што добиваме се односи без доверба. Овој договор не ги приближува, туку ги оддалечува македонскиот и грчкиот народ. Грчкото и македонското општество треба да научат како заеднички да живеат и покрај нивните најдлабоки разлики што ги разделуваат. За да имаме вистински, траен и одржив договор, потребно ни е диалог наместо монолог, аргументирано убедување наместо присилно наметнување, доверба наместо недоверба. Знам дека и вие како македонска диаспора сте загрижени за ова состојба, бидејќи се што се прави во татковината неминовно се рефлектира и на диаспората. Запознаен сум од вашите многобројни писма, од средбите со представниците на вашата организација и затоа ја користам ова прилика за да ви се заблагодарам за сета поддршка и за сета помош што ми ја давате во овие навистина тешки времиња. Не смее да се заборави дека Република Македонија не е само држава на македонските граѓани што живеат во неа, туку и татковина на секој еден од вас, од припадниците на македонската диаспора. Почитувани присутни, изминативе недели во Република Македонија речи секојдневно доаѓаат високи странски представници да ги убедуваат македонските граѓани да излезат на референдумот и да ја прифатат грчката спогодба. Но при тоа се заборава дека без вистински реформи, без борба против корупцијата, без борба против партискиот елитизам и клиентализам, нема членство ни во Унијата, ни во НАТО. И да се прифати штетниот грчки договор и да се промени македонскиот устав, членството во Европската Унија и НАТО не следува по автоматизам. Речи си секој од тие странски представници со кои се среќавам ми го поставуваат прашањето кој е мојот став во однос на референдумот за спогодбата. Ова е мојот одговор. Во своето обраќање до македонските граѓани во очи на референдумот за независноста во 1991 година, председателот Глигоров истакна дека референдумот треба да биде потврда дека македонскиот народ е народ со долга историја, со разбудена демократска свест и дека со тој референдум самостојно и одговорно треба да испише нова страница на сопственото битисување. За разлика од тоа, 27 години подоцна, со референдумот за грчката спогодба се брише таа придобивка за која се произнесува македонските граѓани во 1991 година. Сакам да ги потсетам македонските граѓани дека во согласност со член 7, став 3 од Законот за референдум, никој не може да биде повикан на одговорност за гласање, односно негласање на референдумот. Секој граѓанин има право да одлучи како ќе постапува во однос на овој референдум, да излезе и да гласа или пак да не излезе и да бойкотира. Што се однесува до мене, јас веќе гласав. Гласав пред 27 години на 8 септември 1991 година. Јас бев еден од оние кои го дадува својот глас за Република Македонија да се конституира како суверена и независна држава со свое име и свое достоинство. Не отстапувам од таа моја одлука. Затоа, на 30 септември нема да излезам да гласам. За да не дозволам промена на уставот со цел промена на уставното име, да не прифатам идеи, предлози кои би ги загрозиле македонскиот национален идентитет, посебноста на македонската нација, македонскиот јазик и македонскиот модел на соживот. Не отстапувам од тоа мое ветување. Затоа, на 30 септември нема да излезам да гласам. Кога ја презема функцијата председател на Република Македонија, положив свечена изјава дека ќе го почитувам уставот и законите. Не отстапувам од таа моја заклетва и затоа на 30 септември нема да излезам. Не само што се менува името на постојната држава, туку се создава нова, полусуверена држава со ново име, со нов натрешно правен и меѓународно правен идентитет. Во согласно со Уставот на Република Македонија, сувереноста извира од граѓаните и им припаѓа на граѓаните. Немојте да дозволите некој тоа право да ви го одземе. Немојте да дозволите некој да ве десуверенизира. Не дозволете некој друг да ја контролира вашата свест и вашата национална гордост. Република Македонија му припаѓа на народот кој ја создал. А тој народ, освен што полага историско право на својата република, истовремено има историска одговорност кон таа своја република. Бидејќи ниту една генерација, вклучително и нашата генерација, не може да тврди дека со неа започнува се. Ние сме дел од континуитетот. Наша обврска е да го сочуваме и да им го предадеме на потомците она што сме го наследили од предците. Како што македонскиот народ е создавач на Република Македонија, така и Република Македонија е чуварот на македонскиот идентитет. Прашањето за името и идентитетот е постаро и поскапо од секој устав, од секоја влада, од секоја партија, од секој председател, од секој поединечен интерес. Имајќи го се ова предвид, јас ја донесов мојата одлука. Верувам и убеден сум дека и граѓаните на Република Македонија на 30 септември ќе донесат исправна и мудра одлука. Како што сме одговорни пред граѓаните, така сме одговорни и пред диаспората, која и во најтешките мигови за Македонија била тука и секогаш ќе биде тука со нас. Верувам дека ќе искористите својата можност за да помогнете и во овој период на предизвици. И дека сплотени ќе продолжиме да ја остваруваме заедничката визија, за заедно со заедничка работа да ја направиме Република Македонија поправедна, побезбедна, попросперитетна и поуспешна држава.
Thank you, President Ivanov. You have been so great to work with over the years. You've never said no. You've always been there. You've always been so supportive of UMD and of Macedonia, and we all thank you. And I'd also like to thank your wife, Mrs. Ivanov, because you've also put a lot of your heart into everything for the country and the soldiers. So thank you. I've been asked to remind everybody about the saddle auction as well. It closes at 10:30, so if you haven't yet gone and made a bid, go out and bid on some nice silent auction items. Now, before we invite the next speaker up, please turn your attention to the screen for a video about one of the UMD programs benefiting from your generosity this evening, and it is the Birthright program for Macedonia.
Experience here supersedes what
meeting new people and forming connections with higher educated people is very satisfying.
This program is awesome. It really works. It gets people to network. It gets people to spark an interest into their culture, into their background, into some amazing, beautiful geography of Macedonia. It really does wonders for people.
This is a fantastic program for all Macedonians all over the world.
I think everybody here that's participated really integrated the culture here, and I think that we all have a lot to offer back for the country, and me personally, I see myself coming back more and more to participate and to help this country.
My expectation for this trip was to see Macedonia from a different perspective. I had an amazing experience being able to have practical work experience, learning the language and the culture, as well as some amazing history, and really bonding with other people in a similar situation as me. I think I learned a little bit about their countries, and they learned a little bit about mine, as well as all of us learning about Macedonia.
I would recommend that we slowly kind of integrate back into our country, and even if it is a small portion, we need to help our country get back to its feet.
The diaspora can help the country, not just by coming back, but just staying up to date on current events. Keeping the traditions alive back home. It's teaching Macedonian to your children, going to festivals, culture, getting involved in your own community, and even which country you're from. I'm from America. To get involved in your government, local government, advocate for all Macedonian issues. Those are some of the most important things I think we can do for the people.
The desire to connect Macedonians who live in the diaspora, to bring them here to discover their heritage for the first time or rediscover it.
The inspiration to do this is to bring as many people from the diaspora and Macedonian to the country to come and experience how it is to live here, to enjoy work in some companies or in NGOs or government institutions. To spend nice time in this clinic that the program is offering, spend time with both families to experience sharing space with some of the Macedonians that live here, but most of all to have a good time and fun and to have great memories to bring back home and to wish to come again.
It was my greatest pleasure working with the service with Macedonia in partnership between United Macedonian Diaspora and the Macedonian Center for International Cooperation. This year we had 4 wonderful, young, intelligent interns, so willing to learn and give back to the country.
I hope that they stay connected with Macedonia, and I hope they come back. I hope they contribute their knowledge, their expertise, their educational skills to advance this country forward.
Well, this program is really important for the diaspora because it encourages people who may have lost touch with or may not know a lot about their Macedonian roots to come here to invest in the economy, invest time, invest interest, and really to take action in their communities.
My message to the Macedonian diaspora would be to never forget their heritage and their roots, and to always strive to find space to come back and to contribute to the motherland, just as I have. I returned to Macedonia after a 12-year absence to lead the American Chamber of Commerce, and I'm thrilled to have an opportunity to contribute to my own country, and I would encourage anyone who would have an opportunity to do the same.
In future, I'd love to come back here and work here, maybe even bring my family back here and slowly get back to my roots.
I'm confident to say I'll move back one day.
I see myself coming back.
It's a wonderful feeling to know that you're Macedonian and that you belong to this country.
Macedonia means everything to me and nothing else.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are our proud next generation torchbearers. So we're doing a really, really good job. Please join me in welcoming UMD's co-founder and president, Metro Koloski. You can't be Macedonian and not know who Metro is.
Thank you, Liz, and one round of applause for our beautiful before I get to really UMD, I want to recognize our honorees and some personal stories really quickly, but President Ivanov, I used to consult back in college on some constitutional law classes and all that, and then when he became president, I was very excited because he's tremendously knowledgeable. And the other day when we heard him at Wayne State University, when he spoke at the law school there before the students, you really could tell why he became a professor, and you can tell why he became a president. So congratulations. Award, and you're truly a statesman, and we really heard what we wanted to hear, and that is to boycott the September 30th referendum. So thank you for that message. Evelyn, thank you for everything that you're doing to our community. The other day she called me and she said, Meto, we got to get our community united. All of our churches, Saints Clement, Saints Mary, Saints George of Kratowski, Michigan, we must unite. I'm glad that Bishop Metodi and the many fathers in our community are here tonight. And it's a testament to our unity, but we really, really have to get united, because the more we're disunited, the more others take advantage of us, including the Greeks, the Bulgarians, the Serbians, and all these other ethnic groups that are trying to take advantage of us. We have to look to the example of the Jewish community, the Armenian community, the Greek community. They're very strong and engaged, and we have to continue fighting for what is right. And that is why we're glad that we honored Congressman Paul Mitchell and Congressman Deana. In addition to UMD being your voice in Washington, D.C., these members of Congress are making sure that our voice is represented in the halls of Congress. And we're very pleased that Congressman Paul Mitchell, like I said, to leave. He will be the next co-chair of the Macedonia caucus when Dave Trott retires, joining Debbie Dingell. So we're really pleased that him and Debbie Dingell will continue this in the next Congress. Another person that I really wanted to recognize that's here tonight is actually, we have a delegation from Romania.
And I don't know if you knew, and I didn't know until a few years ago, that there's Macedonians in Romania. And actually, believe it or not, we have the first ever and the only member of parliament elected in any parliament in the world, and that is Venera Popescu, who's here with us tonight from Romania. She informed me this evening on the table that she managed to get the Romanian government and Parliament to recognize a day of Macedonian culture in Romania. And this is why it's so important to invest in our younger generations, because we really truly have to get our younger generations in places of influence and power that will then make an impact for our community long term. We also have the Honorary Consuls of France, of Slovak Republic, and also the Deputy Consul of Mexico and the Consul General of Canada. So thank you very much for being here tonight. Sorry, a lot of thank yous, but this is what happens when you work in this job for 9 years. This event would not have been possible without the able leadership of our gala co-chairs, Deana, Janceski, George Peters. It's due to recognize also the partners, Dan and Scott, because they put out with these two people planning this event. So thank you very much for all of your exceptional work to make this event flawless. We have guests from Macedonia, which you notice on the screen, the Macedonian Center for International Cooperation, which is our Birthright Macedonia program. We have Alexander Grzalowski of MCIC and Jasmina Charoszewska, and also one of our Birthright students. And we also have Alexander Murgoska, who introduced Peter Dallas to many of us to make sure that we have this program in Macedonia. And finally, my colleague in Skopje, Veronica Tomova, who was just appointed as UMD's director in Macedonia in February. So in addition to me being your voice in Washington, she's your voice in Skopje, and making sure that your voices are represented to all institutions in Macedonia. So thank you all for Macedonia coming here, being part of this. So last but not least, I want to call up, I want to get people that have benefited from UMD programming to rise up, and for all of us to give them a round of applause. And that is our Generation M program, our Birthright Macedonia program, and our interns that have served in Washington. Please rise. Over 20 students in Macedonia, and our local partner and us make sure that they have a great experience. But these people are third, fourth generation, sometimes first, second, and have never been back to Macedonia. And so all of you here tonight, the proceeds of this event are going towards Birthright Macedonia, our internship program, which I can't do everything that I do without them. As well as our Generation M, our Young Leaders program. And next week we're going to have a program in Ottawa, the Canadian Macedonian Leadership Conference. So thank you very much, all of you, for coming tonight, for being part of this event, for supporting UMD, and for supporting the President of Macedonia, Evelyn Dinu, and these two exceptional Congress persons. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and please continue to support UMD. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roger. I'm going to ask you to stand here for a minute. And I believe President Ivanov is coming up. Macedonian Diaspora. And the second one is for Meto for all the hard work that he's been doing.
Thank you very much, President Ivanov, and one more round of applause for the
Okay, so you've probably noticed that there's donation cards on your table. If you would like to make a tax-deductible donation in support of UMD programs such as the Birthright Program, serving our community and benefiting our youth, please do so now, and you'll have volunteers coming to the table to pick them up. Or if you don't want to do it now, you can do it later, so that's not a problem. And right now, I'm going to welcome back Makedonka for their very last performance here for the evening.
Say Dobro večer, ja sam Mende Bežanovski, inače Makedonec od Detroit. Ovde sme so gospodinot predsedatelj na Republika Makedonija, gospodin Ivanov, и заедно со обединетата диаспора на македонците од целиот свет му даваме поддршка на председателот и на нашата Република Македонија да обстане во овие тешки времења и да се соочи со проблемите. Што значи за мене обединета диаспора? Значи многу, значи македонците обединети, македонците заедно, македонците силни, снажни, храбри, да истраат во овие искушенија и да не се покорат на сите овие налети кои што сакаат, така наречено, да не нас македонците уништат. Тоа е за мене македонска диаспора, важна организација со која јас се гордеам, чест ми е да бидам дел од незе и се надевам дека ќе истраиме и се надевам на успешност. Вечна Македонија, вечна била Македонија, вечна била Америка. Поздрав!
Здраво на сите македонци и во татковината и во диаспората. Моето име е Душко Каледжиевски. Овде сме собрани во Детройт на Tribute Ball за обединетата македонска диаспора. Мислам дека овој настане многу убаво што се случи овде и посакувам и мислам дека треба да има повеќе исти вакви настани и во иднина. Имено овде сме ние собрани луѓето од диаспората да дадеме поддршка на председателот и на сите оние кои што се залагаат да остане името на Република Македонија. Ние имаме една држава, тоа е Република Македонија. Ги поздравувам сите граѓани во Република Македонија и се надевам дека ќе го задржиме нашето уставно име, името Република Македонија.
So what did you think of tonight's ball?
It was marvelous. The ball addressed young children. The dancers were super. All the messages were great. It was wonderful. It was. I actually brought 40 people here, and I'm so excited that I did do that because I'm sure, as much as I enjoyed it, they had 40 people out there that also had a great time. And I'm very thankful we came, and I appreciate all the effort that's been put forward to this offering.
So over the last 4 years that I've been involved in UMD and the Young Leaders Program, Generation M, I can't describe how much I've benefited and how much I feel like I've also given back to the Macedonian community, both here in the diaspora and back home in Macedonia. I'm more than proud of being a part of this organization.
Здраво, јас се викам Невена. UMD, тоест ОМД за мене значи многу. Вакви збирки многу ни се битни на нас како народ. Мислам дека диаспората се најголеми националисти, ама во позитивен начин. Денеска беше, мислам, за мене не изненадување, ама многу ми беше мило што председателот го даде својот став во врска со референдумот и ние го поддржуваме тука, така да ова вечер за мене веќе е преуспешна, а и за другите луѓе како што гледам што се многу горди македонци, така да многу ми е мило што учествував во ова евент денеска.
Се викам Цане Царовски, живеам во Лос Анджелес последниве 46-7 години. Топли поздрави на сите македонци по светот. Оваа вечер е специјална за председателот Ѓорѓе Иванов, кој заслужува голем респект од сите македонци. UMD е една наша најдобра организација што ја представува Македонија и македонскиот народ по цел свет. И пожелувам голем успех на сите, особено на UMD, а исто и на председателот Иванов со неговата сопруга.
Good evening. Thank you for being here with us tonight in the beautiful city of Detroit for the Macedonian Ball. We were here tonight to honor President Ivanov for everything that he has done for our beautiful Macedonia. and to thank him for everything that he's doing to make sure that Macedonia keeps its name, keeps its identity, and for generations to come, we keep saying to call ourselves Macedonians. The event tonight was very well organized, and I want to thank everyone that was part of the event, that donated their services and their time. And without the volunteers and without their help and resources, UMD would have never gotten this far. And we owe them everything. Again, thank you for being with us tonight, and I hope to see you next time during our next event.
Здраво, јас сум Трајко Папучковски, директор на американски работи за Обединената македонска диаспора. Сакам да ви покарам да се зачлените во Обединената македонска диаспора, дека ние сме горди што сме македонци и ние забориме нашата татковината. Нашата работа е да ја помогнеме нашата татковината, да ги учиме нашите млади да порасат бидат за иднина на Македонија и да ја даваме адвокација во Вашингтон DC за Македонија. Затоа ви покарам да станете член за Обединената македонска диаспора. Hvala.
Well, I think this ball was a huge success. The fact that we brought together our community of so many different church communities and cultural organizations and Macedonians from not just Detroit, but Romania, Boston, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Florida, Ohio, many places, including Macedonia. The president was exceptional. Our honorees, Evelyn Dinu, the Congressman Paul Mitchell, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. And I just want to thank everybody for supporting this event. UMD is a true voice for the Macedonian community in Washington, D.C., and I think that we truly got people together and united to support the Macedonian community, to support our homeland, Macedonia. So thank you, everyone.
I'm here again, here in United States of America, to be allowed a medal. Thank you very much for invitation. Macedonia and be united. Thank you very much for invitation. See you.
Zdravo na site, jaz se vikam Milka Trajkova, do mene je Kevin Spirov. Danes беше прекрасна вечер и ми беше много мило и драго, što можем да го запознам председателот на Македонија, Георгија Иванов. И много ми беше драго што имав таква желба да слушам таков говор од него и така храбро што се бори за нашата држава.
Hi, my name is Mario Hristovski. I'm born in Bitola. I'm an immigrant to the United States. And being here tonight with my brothers and sisters, seeing the love that we have for Macedonia, shows me that that love that we've had for centuries, it's not dying. It's resurrecting. It's becoming stronger every day, especially in these trying times that we find ourselves in. Macedonians need to know we have not forgotten our motherland and will never be disconnected from it. So we need to keep staying together, keep fighting, because the fight for a better Macedonia has no end. And as Macedonians, we should know that better than anybody. Thank you all for coming out. Da žive Makedonija.
Na 30 septembri bojkotiran!
My name is Kevin Spirov. I'm a third-generation Macedonian living in the United States. I was a second annual Birthright Macedonia participant and an attendee of this year's Macedonian Gala. And all I have to say is that this is an amazing event with a lot of amazing people. The stories they share are so touching and bring you back to your roots. And anyone of the Macedonian heritage who would like to be involved should reach out to the United Macedonian Diaspora. They're doing amazing things. They're really fighting for everything our country honors so deeply. And it's been a hit. Everybody should attend next year to Macedonian Convention and the ball. Thank you very much.